Today we're making two super easy and delicious high protein dump and bake casseroles, y'all. They are plant-based, gluten-free, full of flavor, perfect for meal prep or just feeding a hungry crowd. It's time to make some scarpariello, dump and bake casserole style. Oh yes. Now if you have never heard of scarpariello before, I'm not surprised. It's an Italian dish also known as cobbler's chicken, okay? And it's basically a mishmash of potatoes mixed with proteins like chicken, sometimes sausage or beef crumbles, and a bunch of other veggies like mushrooms, bell peppers, onions, garlic, all wrapped up in a really velvety, buttery, spicy, tangy sauce, and it is incredible. It's high in protein, 25 grams of protein per serving, and honestly, the whole family will go nuts for it. It is, oh my God, so good. So let's go over the ingredients real quick. So the base of this recipe is gonna consist of pasta, potatoes, like I mentioned, and veggies. And then the proteins we're adding are soy curls, kind of to replicate chicken, and also some Beyond Beef burgers. Now you could use like any plant-based ground beef that comes in a package, or you could use like Beyond Italian sausages if you prefer that. I'll also leave some more whole food swap suggestions if you wanna replace the meat replacements with like tofu or TVP. So there's only one component of this dish that we have to pre-cook before dumping it all in a casserole, and that is the Beyond Beef burgers. Welcome to stove. I've just got a little frying pan heating up with 1 tablespoon of oil, and now that it's hot, all we're gonna do is we're gonna drop in a couple Beyond burgers, or if you would rather, like I mentioned, Beyond sausages. And we're just going to cook them for about 7 to 9 minutes until they are cooked through, they're browned. And then once they're soft enough to break apart with a spatula, you can go ahead and break them into crumbles like you would with ground beef. And at the same time, you can go ahead and season them with half of our Italian seasoning, which is about 1 tablespoon, and half of our garlic powder, which is 1 teaspoon. And while the Beyond Beef crumbles do their cooking thing over there, we're just gonna power through our veggie prep. There's a little bit, but it's not gonna take as long as the OG scarpariello, okay? We're gonna use 1 small onion, and I like to slice these really nice and thinly. Alternatively, you could use 2 shallots. We're going to finely mince up 10 whole cloves of garlic. Don't fight me on it. Just trust me. We've got half a pound of brown mushrooms. We're gonna slice those in half. You could also use oyster mushrooms for a different flavor. We've got some luscious red bell peppers. I like to thinly slice them. We've also got a bag of little mini potatoes, little red ones. Doesn't matter what you use. They could be mini yellows, reds, fingerlings. You just need 1.5 pounds of them, and I like to slice them in half. And finally, we've got some pepperoncinis. These, if you're not familiar with them, are pickled spicy peppers, and if you've ever been to Olive Garden, these are the peppers you always get in the Olive Garden salad. They're spicy, but not too spicy, and truly, they make up the bulk of the flavor in this dish, so do not skip them. They're so good. I like to slice them up just into little thin coins. Oh, the smell of them is breathtaking. And basically all of the veggies, once they're chopped, are gonna go into 1 big mixing bowl. And some of them will end up on the floor, apparently. All right, y'all, this is where we're gonna do a big mixy. Yep, we are. So what we gotta do now is add all the remaining ingredients to this bowl. That's gonna go in the casserole pretty much. So we've got 4 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. This is going to add savoriness, umami, extra B vitamins, and some protein, and just general deliciousness. We're gonna add the remaining 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, the remaining 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, because there's just not enough garlic with those 10 cloves of garlic in there, you know what I mean? We're gonna add in that cooked Beyond Beef, plus our dry soy curls, which are about 4 ounces, and 8 ounces of dry pasta. Get in there, give everything a really good toss. We pretty much want all the veggies, everything really, to be coated in the chopped garlic and the nutritional yeast, the spices. We just want it to be a well combined mess, if you know what I mean. Behold! Y'all, this smells delicious, and it's not even a thing yet. Okay, set this aside for just a quick moment. We're going to prepare our casserole dish. Yoink! Okay, now this is the biggest casserole dish I have. I think it's about 10 by 16. It's a big boy. We're gonna add like 1 tablespoon of a plant-based butter or margarine. I've just got Basil, and using like a little piece of parchment, I'm just gonna pretty much grease the whole pan here. Let's see how much of this I can get on my fingers. Now you technically can do this without any oil or butter if you'd prefer it to be a little less calorie rich, but it doesn't add too many calories to the overall dish, and honestly I feel like it just adds the right amount of richness that it needs. Now that the dish is buttered, we're gonna go ahead and add all of this to the pan. I am low-key a little bit nervous that my dish is not big enough, but oh my god, I think it is big enough. Oh, that's great. That makes me so happy. My anxiety levels have just significantly lowered. All right, set her aside for just a moment while we make our quick liquid mix. So in total, we're gonna need anywhere from 5 to 6 cups of liquid in order for the soy curls to rehydrate and for the pasta noodles to cook properly in the dish. So you do need a lot of liquid. Basically, just grab the same bowl we were using for the veggie mix, and we're gonna add, to start, 5 cups of boiling hot water into the bowl. And then for a little bit of extra acidity and tang and a little bit of lemony goodness, we're gonna add the juice of 2 whole lemons, plus 2 tablespoons of a light, low sodium soy sauce. We're using a light soy sauce, or at least I am, because I have some vegan chicken bouillon powder that I get at Bulk Barn that is just so gosh darn amazing and convenient. So I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons to start into the liquid mix. And now we're just gonna give it a little whiskey, give it a taste, see how it is. We can always add more soy sauce or chicken bouillon after the fact. Ooh, oh my God. Oven's ready, this broth is ready. Salty enough, it's tangy enough, ooh. Now we're just going to simply pour the broth over everything in the dish. Oh baby. Now I can see it's not quite enough water because the noodles aren't fully submerged yet, and I know that they're gonna need a lot more liquid, so I'm just gonna add what's left in my kettle, which is about 2 cups. Pretty much just add enough water to pretty much cover the noodles and the veggies. Now, I know this looks precarious, like the liquid is almost to the rim, but that's actually good because what I like to do before I pop this in the oven is let the casserole dish sit here and allow the soy curls to absorb liquid until they're nice and plump, and that will actually reduce the overall level of the liquid, and you'll still need to double check even after the soy curls have absorbed that the noodles are still submerged, and at that point you can always add a little bit of extra liquid after about 10 minutes of soaking. Okay, beaut. So now what we're gonna do, we're just gonna very tightly cover this with some foil. Ooh, what's the best way to do it? This way would be better. Oh! I like to very carefully place this onto a baking tray just in case there's any spillover while it cooks, which is a possibility. Observe. And then into the oven. Oh my gosh, that's heavy. I've got it preheating at 425. Bye-bye. We're gonna let it cook for an initial 25 minutes or so. We're gonna pull it out and then kind of check on it, give it a good stir to make sure all the noodles get evenly cooked, and same with the potatoes. We're gonna pop it back in and let it cook for a further 20 to 25 minutes for a grand total of about 45 to 50 minutes cook time. And while the scarpariello casserole cooks, this would be a great time for you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free, and then you join my happy little steamy vegan community where we have lots of fun, make a whole lot of healthy, plant-based, high-protein goodness. You don't want to miss out. And like I said, it's free, so hit that subscribe button and like this video if you're enjoying it so far. Thanks. Behold the scarpariello dump and bake casserole. It's basically a stew in a casserole, you guys. Like, look at all this broth. This broth is gold, and you just gotta add a little bit of extra lemon juice for a little extra brightness. And oh my gosh, this is amazing. Oh my god, you're gonna love this. It's so good. There's so much flavor. The pepperoncinis add this like spicy heat, a little bit of kick, so much tang. The buttery richness of the broth, the Italian seasoning, the Beyond Meat, everything just adds so much flavor. There's like layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of flavor. This is really hot, it's burning my hand. Counter slapping good, you guys. Let's move on to the next dump and bake casserole. Doorbell? Moving on to casserole number 2. Yep, another day, another casserole, and this one is a high protein queen. It is a yellow Thai curry casserole, noodles and all, in a dump and bake situation. I've pretty much dump and bake-ified my yellow Thai curry recipe from my Thai meal prep, which, in case you haven't checked that out, it's on my channel, it's on my blog if you want like a whole week of Thai food. But essentially, I have transformed the recipe using pretty much all the same ingredients, but putting it into a one casserole dish situation, so no separate cooking times, no components have to be cooked separately. It's all just a one pan situation, and it is so good. I can literally smell the spices, and particularly this stuff. This is yellow Thai curry paste, which you're gonna need. However, if you prefer a red Thai curry or a green Thai curry, you can totally swap that out in this recipe. I just happen to love yellow curry. Oh my god. So let's get into the first part of this recipe, which is some veggie prep. Not too much though, I promise. So the veggies are pretty flexible in this recipe. You can pretty much use what you have or what you like. I particularly like to use broccoli, sometimes cauliflower. I like red bell pepper, but you can use any other color. And I like to add something a little crunchy, like carrots. So cut up your broccoli into small bite-sized florets. I like to thinly slice my bell peppers, and I also like to julienne my carrots into thin strips. Very simple. That is all the veggie prep. As far as the protein goes, I'm using a whole block of extra firm tofu, which is about 12 ounces, and I'm just gonna be chopping them into small little like 1-inch cubes. That's it, no more chopping. You're done. Easy peasy. Beautiful. Now let's just set this aside for a moment while we prepare our sauce in our casserole dish. Alright folks, so I'll explain the ingredients as we go, but basically we are going to be dumping everything into our casserole dish. No need for extra bowls and stuff, just throw it all in the dish, okay? So first of all, we're gonna add some coconut milk. Now this is about half a can of full fat coconut milk, so I'm just using 1 cup straight into the pan. Then for a little bit of saltiness and savoriness, I'm gonna add in 1 tablespoon of low sodium soy sauce. If you're gluten-free, you can use tamari. For a little kiss of sweetness, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of coconut sugar. Alternatively, you could use maple syrup or agave or date syrup. Now this next one might seem a little unusual if you are a hardcore Thai curry enthusiast, but we're gonna add in a tablespoon of peanut butter. Now that's not super typical and authentic for a yellow curry, but it is for a Penang curry. Then for our main heavy hitter, like I aforementioned, we're gonna add in some yellow Thai curry paste. Now, it's spicy, okay? Not terribly spicy, but it's got a good heft to it, you know? So I'm adding 4 tablespoons, which is on the higher end of the spice level. I would start with 3 if you are sensitive to heat. And then we're just gonna add the juice of half a lime. Mine's pretty small, honestly, so I'm gonna add the whole juice here, but if you have a big lime, just use half. And then lastly, we're going to add in 3 cups of veggie broth. You could use water, but veggie broth will give it more flavor. And now you're just gonna grab one of these here whiskey things and give it all a good whisk. This will take just a moment or two because we do have to kind of break up that curry paste. So give it a good whisk about until there's no lumps, no chunks of the curry left. And behold, the sauce is done. Okay, now I have one final secret ingredient that I just gotta share with you guys. If you can get your hands on some of these here kaffir lime leaves, okay? Please do and add them to this dish. If you can't, it's not the end of the world, but if you can, they will rock your world. Basically, they're these dried leaves. They're lime leaves from the kaffir lime tree, right? Where limes grow. And oh my God, you just crush them a little bit and they release all this amazing, super intense limey flavor that is super characteristic and very common in Thai curries, especially yellow curry. And so whenever I make Thai curry, I always make sure I add a handful of these leaves into the sauce. And then you just pull them out when your dish is done cooking. So I just like to kind of take a couple of them, kind of crush them with my hand, not until they're falling apart, but just so they release some of their flavor. And I'm gonna add them directly into the sauce. You can find these at Asian supermarkets. I happen to have a Thai market near me, but you can find them in some other Asian markets. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in our noodles. I'm just using flat rice noodles, and we're just going to kind of break apart the bunch here and just kind of carefully nestle them right inside the dish here with all the sauce. Kind of want to push them in a little bit, make sure that most of them are submerged. Okay, now all we gotta do is add in those veggies that we just chopped a few minutes ago. Kind of spread them out on top. No need to be fancy. And I almost forgot some garlic. So add in 2 to 3 cloves of minced garlic. That would have just been unforgivable if I forgot that. And then using your hands or some tongs, just kind of give it all a rough toss here. The expectation is not for the veggies to be submerged in the liquid. We're really trying to keep, the noodles submerged. The veggies on top are gonna kind of like push the noodles underneath the liquid, which is really what we want here, folks. And then lastly, of course, we shan't forget about our tofu. So we're just gonna sprinkle that on top. By sprinkling it on top, it also gives it more of an opportunity to kind of brown a little bit more. And now we're just gonna bake this uncovered for about 40 minutes or until the noodles are cooked through. Basically, you're gonna wanna pop it out halfway through cooking time and give it all a good toss to make sure the noodles are completely cooked through and there's no like crunchy spots that are poking out from under the liquid. And that's it, yeah. Et voila, we are 40 minutes in the future and things are, oh my God, looking so good. So I'm just giving everything a quick little toss to combine. The noodles, pretty much as I expected, absorbed most of the sauce, which is fine, because we're pretty much going for like a noodly dish here. The smell, you guys, the smell is unbelievable. I personally love to top my casserole with a little bit of cilantro, green onions, some sesame oil, a little sprinkle of some chopped cashews. A little dusting of sesame seeds on top. Mercy. Oh my God. That is just delicious as any yellow Thai curry I've ever made in casserole form. Oh my God. There is so much flavor, you guys, so much flavor. Let me know in a comment which casserole you are most excited to try. I would love to hear from you. And again, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I can't wait to see you in another video really soon. I love you and ta-ta.